So on the present page, we have the opportunity to decide how we want to build our presentation for the client. You'll notice that there's a drop down here that says My Default, and you should have at least your default setting there. What that does is it allows you to build your favorite presentation by checking the type of presentation. You'll notice some boxes allow you to decide whether to turn those on or off, and some are if and or buttons. I can do a 1-page plan, a 2-page plan, or a 5-page plan. Now remember, you can make this decision for each client, but if you want to go through and build your favorite plan, a cover, introduction, etc., go through and click the pages that you typically would want to show a client and click Save as My Default. That's going to load it so that each time you use the software, it's going to load your default presentation type when you come in, and you can always clear and then build an individual presentation for the client, or again, you can load your default plans. You may have additional plan types that are tied to specific people in your company. They may be tied to other best practices and things, and you may have a video to watch that's related to some of those different types of plans that you may be working with. So typically, one of my favorites is a cover and introduction, the 2-page plan, and I like to leave the ARM details on if there's an ARM, and I like to show the loan program matrix and the AM tables. So this would be a typical default for me. You can always preview. If you're not sure what a page is going to look like, you can just click the preview page, and this will give you the type of information, and you'll notice you can scroll down and see all the pages. So if you try and decide between doing a 2-page plan or more of a comprehensive 5-page plan, I can click the preview here and see what does a 5-page plan look like in terms of how the information presented, say compared to a 2-page plan, and I can click this to again come over here and preview and see what that is going to look like. Over here we have some additional educational information. This may be turned on from you. You may see drop downs with other content, and I'm going to be able to go through here and just like before, pre-screen those to see if it's something I might want to include. This tends to be often related to your client. If you know they have a lower credit score or they need some education, you might want to review and attach a piece of content that's going to help them with their presentation that you're building for them. So think of the presentation window as the place where you're deciding what content do I typically want to show my client, and then here I'm launching my preview, and when I click the preview window, it's going to open a brand new window, and that preview window is going to allow me to see. I'm going to come up here just for a second. If you look at the video here, I've got my window that I was at is going to be open, and a new window is going to preview the presentation that I just built. Excuse me, let me slide this back over just to get it back where we had it before. So what that allows me to do is this is what my client's going to see. They're going to see my picture, they're going to see my sample video, my information, my ID, all my content information, my website, my email address, my company logo, and this gives me a chance to go through the presentation that I've built for that client. Notice the introduction contains those key objectives, the summary and payment information, good, better, best. This is what I'm proposing, the best scenario. And on this one page, all my information is summarized. A lot of our clients, a lot of the way that they approach presenting the client information is they will actually present this one page showing the scenarios and why they recommend this particular scenario. The additional information here is just for the client to look at to see if they have any questions. Some people like to go through this in great detail and some don't. So depending on which presentation you want to recommend for the client, I can go through and build that presentation and give that client something very, very cool to look at in terms of their payments. This is showing the savings over time. Notice how good, better, and best. Notice how that better and that best shows that savings over time for this particular client, depending on what you modeled. Loan program matrix, etc. So you'll get familiar with what these mean as you create plans. What I really want to show here is that if I don't like this and I say, nah, I don't want that ARM details, I don't need that, it's not relevant, I take that off, and maybe I do want to add some educational information on credit scoring. So think of this as just a preview. I just click the Launch Preview Wizard again, it builds a new presentation, and I can preview it. Intro, here's my overview, payment, loan program matrix, AM tables, and there's my client education. Wow, that looks great. That's what I'd like to send to my client. So once you, I'm going to click on this tab. Once you build what you want and you click the Presentation Wizard button here, and you preview it and you like it and it looks good, you have a choice. Do I want to download this as a PDF and send this to the client as a nice hard copy? If I click that button, it's going to build that to high definition PDF that I can send for my client to review. Do I want to share the screen live? So you'll notice if you saw down here, the box just popped up and it just opened it up in Reader, and here is my Adobe PDF, and I can take a look at it, say that looks great, and then most Adobe tools are going to have a print button or an email button where you can send that out to your client. I could screen share. If I click live screen share, it says start screen sharing, and all you need to know is I need to send that client a link. This is the link. It says your clients can gain your web access to your desktop share. So you're on the phone with a client, or maybe you've built this and the client appointment is today at 2, and you send this link about 10 minutes beforehand and say, please click this link to join my live desktop share. And all you do is click the start sharing button at 2 o'clock. You're going to share your screen out with a single click, and they're going to be able to see your screen as they talk to you, and you can walk them through the presentation. You can walk them through this presentation that you've built, or you can walk them through the presentation using the software and just take them through the bar tab and show them all of the math and what you're doing there. A lot of people like to use this as a very finished presentation for their client so they can walk through for the sample video client and talk to them about their situation, navigating through, explaining the savings and why this particular scenario is the one that they feel is the best scenario for their situation. Notice things like this. They're spending 51.56% of their payment is going to interest. With my best case scenario, you'll be spending 38.58% of your payment will be going to interest. The rest is going to principal. Look at your break even. 8 months, 9 months, 9 months. So 9 months is your break even for this, 8 months for this one. But I can see my savings. Again, all that information can be communicated in one single page. Now, this is your preview. You're deciding, do I want to print this brochure for the client? Do I want to share my screen out? And there's one other option. Do I want to publish this to the web? This is what I'm going to recommend that you do with most customers. You're going to click the publish button, and you're going to say yes or no. Would you like to add a video or not? I recommend you do both so you can see the difference. First, I'm going to click no, and what that's going to do is that's going to give me my link. This is a link I can click and send to my client, and they're going to be able to see this presentation. If I click the link, I can preview it and see what it's going to look like. This is exactly what my client's going to see. This is going to track all their activity on the presentation. We'll talk more about that in a future video. If I want to go through, so if I'm going to send this to the client as a PDF or an email, I'm going to download it and email it. If I want to share my screen, I'm going to click here. If I want to publish it to them, I'm going to click here. The other option, as I mentioned, is to say, yes, I would like to add a video. If I click the yes button, the software is going to load up a screen recording tool that's going to bring in a screen recorder. It's going to find your mic in the system, and it's going to bring up a window. It says the screen recorder has been loaded. When that screen recorder gets loaded, you'll be able to take this box right here. So here's my screen recorder. I'm just going to drag this around the window, the area that I want to record. And you'll notice I'll make this a little bit smaller so that you can see it. It's registering my mic here, and it's giving me everything, and all I have to do is click the record button. When I click this record button, it's going to count down 3, 2, 1, go. And now it's going to start recording this so that I can actually go through and voice over to my client this presentation that I've just built for them. So I'm going to go through and talk about the presentation. They're going to see everything in the window. So you want to move it around inside the window so that you can show them the key information. Keep this video short and to the point. Highlight the key things that you want, and when you're done, simply click the done button. And what this is going to do now is this is going to build a presentation for you with a video, and you're going to be able to take that information and you're going to be able to put it right into the system. So here I'll just put in a sample video, and I'm going to put in my email address or their email address, samplevideo@gmail.com, the subject, whatever you want to put in there, any description, and I'm going to click the upload. That's going to build that presentation. Now again, these are all different ways. It's rare that you're going to come in each time and do something totally different. While we give you all these capabilities, these are capabilities that we're giving you based on what different loan officers do. Some like to send Sorry. So if you were to, you'll notice what happened here is I clicked that video, and now it gives me the link just like before. But what's different about this link is when I click that link to send it to the client, this is what the client's going to get. They're going to get the same presentation before, but there's a new tab called video, and when they receive this from you and they click the button, they're going to actually be able to watch your video as you explain their presentation. And after they look at that presentation, they're going to be able to click through it after they watch your video and see all the great information that you put together for them for this particular presentation. So in terms of capability, there's a lot of capability here. You're going to preview your presentation, decide, do I want to download it, do I want to share my screen with the client, do I want to publish it to the web. I recommend you publish it to the web. Add a video if you're comfortable doing that, and if not, just click publish and then no, and you've got your link to send this out to the client. The second they receive it and watch it, you're going to get an update to let you know that they've watched that video or that they've looked at your plan. It's going to tell you what they did while they were there, and you're going to know to follow up with that client quickly. So the presentation or present tab is a very powerful tab, and it's going to allow you to build some really cool presentations for your client.